Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I say it's Easter Monday. I'm in work this afternoon, so while I'm infused, I'm going to just do a little bit of work on that new Bergen I've got for a very nice price. Very much like it. Found out a lot about it. It's an air crew survival Bergen. In the trade, it's a direct copy, Incador and Nylon, of the inventory or para Bergen, or as they call it, 72 pattern webbing. A lot of guys on Cooper's Corner Facebook page give me a lot of information about that, which is appreciated. In short, ladies and gentlemen, it's a turd. That is an army term for something that's not very good, and there's always an old army saying you can't polish a turd. Well, as you know me, ladies and gents, I'll never take nothing as read. Remember that bit where you can't do something? Well, when I was in the army, I was never given that lesson. Never. Taking quite a shine to this Bergen because I do like the design of it. And so this video will be titled How to Polish a Turd. I'm going to uprate this Bergen. It's nothing like special, like ultra rare or anything like that. And as I go through it, I'll just bring you back because there's lots of different things I'm going to be doing to this Bergen that you may need or want to individually do to a Bergen you own. I've been asked by a couple of people if I'm going to Mac tightwad it or Mac edition it. Please do as a bit of a film. Right, ladies and gents, so the first thing that the Bergen needs, without a shadow of a doubt, if you're going to have one of these, is upgrading the shoulder straps. These are okay if you've got Hulk shoulders and so forth, but any sort of weight in there, this really isn't adequate, like I say. So on that, that's how it is, and that's how it's going to be before and after. Doing a bit of Blue Peter here, I'll just do that so I'll capture your attention. Just the other night, while I sat there, I will just put that, it's a slip-on extension, and you can do this to any Bergen that you have or you wanted to do. Like I say, it's slip-on foam mat in there. I'll show you that foam in a second, and all I've done, and I'll push in there with nothing too spectacular. It will just do exactly what I want it to do. Widen that Bergen, because you can have it as thick as you want, makes no difference, but the wider it is, the more it will spread the load. So there, ladies and gentlemen, is the finished object. One or two things, and you may want to do this, as I say, to any Bergen you have, so I'm going to take you through it. I've had to stop there. I just decided, yeah, I'm going to do a bit of filming on this, because there's one thing you have to do on this, and that is, as you'll see here, it's sewed in a loop around. And then this edge, you don't particularly want this edge near your neck, so you want it on the outside. So when you do the next one, it's got to be handled, okay? That means a left and right. And as we'll see there, I've marked it out, okay? That's exactly half. This is going to be the top. And as we see, ladies and gents, see this stitch line? It's going to be towards my other shoulder. So make sure that you do your first one first, and then use this one as a guide to do your second one. The arrow points to the tension strap for your shoulder strap. Okay, longer than I need it, because I've got to sew up that end and I've got to sew up this end. And as you'll see, just to get it right, ladies and gents, I have literally marked off exactly where, remembering that goes underneath there a bit, marked off exactly where these straps are going to be. There's one line for them, and the thick strap, or the 40mm strap, is going to be there. So on that, I'll just bring you back. And here we go, ladies and gents. This is a normal bit of foam roll mat. Obviously it doesn't collect water, so it's non-porous. Get it anywhere. I use a lot of this for padding, so I've just cannibalised one. So remembering that you want your stitch line on the outside, okay, that's where my head's going to be. This is what goes inside it. So at this point, there's things you need to do, okay, and again I'll cover them again briefly. I've measured that, so there's just a little stitch line down there, okay, so that's how wide it is, because that is judged how wide you wanted that, and you decide how wide you want it, and there you go, there's just a little overlap there. For me, that's super fine. Okay, now obviously before I do anything, and I keep saying this, before you sew anything up, you have to attach whatever you want. And as we'll see here, that is some 40mm webbing, easy to get hold of. And I'm using 2 bits of them, one there and one there. And then for the in-between bits, which are just to hold it on, again, some 25mm webbing, which will be placed there and placed there. And that's it, ladies and gents. And I'll turn it inside out. Once they're sewn on, obviously once it's sewn down the side, you can't sew anything on. I will sew it, keep both ends open, sew it down the side, insert that, okay, and then if I need to, I can sew down there again just to pinch that in a little bit of material, so it's relatively tight in there, okay. But remembering you've got to be able to push it in and out. So I'm going to go and do that little bit of sewing, and then I'll bring you back for a quick look-see. Put it on there, make sure it's exactly central. I'm doing a zigzag stitch. Go back, lock the stitch. Hold it in place, check again. Make sure you come over. Bring it up, bring your needle out. Don't bother cutting your cotton, it'll move with you. Again, check it's up against that line exactly where I want it. Super fine, ladies and gents. Next one, you decide whether you want to use 25mm or 40mm webbing. That one will need to be up against there. I will line it up with the last one. Important to do that. Remembering that a lot of this side is going to disappear when I sew it in a loop, so I do need to bring that over just a couple of millimetres more, okay. That's it. Lock the stitch. If the needle's not up, take it right to the end so your cotton will slide. Again, make sure she's lined up and flat and close to the edge a little bit. Machine can run a lot faster than that, no need to overdo it. I'm not on piecework. And the one at the top, which will be my 50mm one, sorry, my 40mm one. On this one, even though I've sealed the edges, and with all of this stuff, once you cut it, you have to seal it with a lighter, ladies and gents. Just in case you haven't seen it done, stop it from fraying. And obviously, the other side, I'll just give it another go, just for demonstration purposes. Again, don't touch that, because it's hot, and it takes a few seconds to cool down. But what I'm doing with this, I'm just literally folding that one over a couple of millimetres, so I'm sewing for it double. A little fiddly to get it down, but it will pay dividends. Right, that's that. Once I put it exactly where I want it. Over, all the way back, back once more. I went 3 times on that one, no reason why I couldn't. This one will be taking most of the tension. Needle up. bit fiddly and tiresome to watch, so I'll just be editing little bits of this out. There you are, that's how I want it. Make sure it's free, and here we go again, ladies and gentlemen. Got that stitch a bit. And as we can probably see down here, you're going to have lots of thick bits of cotton you're going to have to cut off. Do that in your own time. I'm not going to bore you doing that. Right, the next thing I need to do is literally turn it inside out, ladies and gents. Inside out like that, okay? And just sew it down the long side, leaving both ends open. Right, ladies and gents, I've set it up now, so I've got the long side. Remember the two sides, this is where I'm going to push my padding in before sewing it up there. So I'm going to do the long side. And again, check and check again. So that's just me boxes barking, and Mr. Baldrick. Just give me an idea. So I'm coming in 1 foot's worth there. And it's kind of guesstimation. If it's not tight enough, I'll just come down and do another row of stitching to make it a bit tighter. Start her off. And just make sure that these two sides, as we can see there, are matching as I sew down. Again, this machine can go very fast, but the faster you go, it's like a car, the less control you have. Again, check and check again. You'll see there's a and that is that, ladies and gents. And how I come about that side, I decided how long I wanted that, then I measured 2 of that, allowing for a little bit of lap over, so it would actually fit inside, ladies and gents. So now I'm happy that that's exactly where I want. I'm going to now do the unenviable task of turning it inside out. This is a pain, needs to be done. Sometimes it involves swearing, so I'll just bring it back when it's done. But so you're going to have to do it and go through and just keep pulling it through. Keep pulling it in. It will come. Alright, ladies and gents, what else you do on a rainy bank holiday then? So there's me foam padding. There's all my straps. The original strap's going to come down. And why I'm going to do this, because there are so many people who dislike or want more padding on the straps of the LK35. So even if you're just watching the first part of this video, this is how to improve shoulder straps on any Bergen. Make sure I sew them up, ladies and gentlemen. I always know that that's going to be pointing to the floor, i.e. that way, because I want this part on the outside, and that's where I'm going to sew down. So I've done my retaining straps. I've got an open tube I've turned inside out now, and all you've got to do now is push this inside. Now, it shouldn't be too difficult. You just want it to touch sides. Maybe come down a little bit more, because that's where it's got to come down to. It's there, because as I said there, I cut a few bits off earlier on. That will be then turned over and sewn up. That's the next thing I'm going to do. And at the back there, I'm just going to sew it up along there and just turn it over a little bit. That needs to be like that for a reason. If it starts slipping, I can just sew that to the original strap. But ladies and gentlemen, if you sew this piece up now and you sew that piece up, you thread your original Bergen strap through there, you've just improved your Bergen no end. Make it wider rather than thicker, because that spreads the weight over a greater area. You can have a thin strap, very strap, and it's very thick and it doesn't do any problems. So what I'm going to do now, ladies and gents, is literally fold that round, fold it over and sew down on that line, catching that bit underneath. So you can see that sewed down there. The other one, sew it down so the pad doesn't move that way, and then sew it across there and just tidy it up on the seam there. On the seam there, and then that's it. That's a shoulder strap. It really isn't very hard to do, especially when you think about it. Obviously you want this round side, that's what your neck's going to be there. Okay, I'm going to now sew up down that side, which will make it really tight inside, and it's got a little bit of movement, and that will give me the opportunity to do that. So I'm just going to sew down that side, and as I say, fold that under and sew down. Right, ladies and gents, as I said, I sewed it up that side now, just did a little sew round there. I want that little flap there, and all I've done is thread it through the holding things on the holding strap. So that's this. If this was your Bergen strap, whatever Bergen it is, I'm thinking like L35s. They'll need a bit more padding on the old straps. Otherwise, they ain't bad Bergens. Pull that through. Push that through my bottom one. Make sure I'm on shot. Yeah. Again, a little bitty because it's meant to be tight but not immovable. Put it right down and pull me flap out. Put it right down, ladies and gents, and yeah, I'm going to lift this up. Here we see part one of how to polish a turd. Okay, that's the original Bergen. That's the original Bergen strap. This thing's designed to be lightweight, because it's in a rotary wing aircraft, i.e. otherwise known as a helicopter, and where everything is weight is a consideration. So the shoulder straps ain't brilliant, but you know what, I have done now, and there's a few little cottons there. As you can see, the round side there, so that's rubbing against my neck if needed, and the side that you're going to sew up is away from me on both. So they have to be handled left and right. So just watch out for that, ladies and gents. I should be able to. I will be able to thread me bottom 25mm straps through there, and all I've done. I don't at this point see it needed securing horizontally. If it does, I'll just put a couple of stitches by hand in there and in there, in there and in there. But what that will mean is it is just for this Bergen, and I possibly couldn't take it up at a later date and use these straps on another Bergen. So I've not invented the world there, ladies and gents, but it certainly will upgrade the Bergen that you're using, or that you particularly like. As I say, this is a bit of a turd, this Bergen, but I like it. So that's part one of how to polish a turd. Looking forward. Ooh. Ladies and gents, I love this pouch there. It's exactly the same as the old inventory pair of Bergens, even the same strappings, which I don't mind them. That I see going on the top lid and giving me all this real estate here to work with, and the shoulder straps, I do like them. The press studs, in case you're wondering, is for press studding that flat against it. I'll show you that before actually, if I do take them off. But yeah, I'm thinking bigger pouch here, slightly taller, and then another pouch there just for all me shelter and sleep kit. But yeah, how to modify your Bergens, ladies and gents, like I say. I see that one going on top there, giving me all that space to muck about with. But it's not going to be too hard to unpick this Bergen, i.e. like I did with the LK35, and that way I can get this flat and underneath the machine and work the old tightwad magic. It's not magic as such, ladies and gents, but it's nice if you can get something just how you want it, and it doesn't cost a great deal of money. Take care.